Hi there, I'm Kathleen Tometz of Dual Art and Design, and I'm going to show you how to make a bird. So this is my little bird, and he is on a little pedestal. I'm going to try and make a bird that actually has 2 feet that are separate, so that this maybe could be a piece of art, or it could be a toy. We'll see how that goes. And the bird I'm making is going to be way bigger because I couldn't find styrofoam this small. So what you're going to need for this is styrofoam, egg. So if you want to do a small bird, you would just get a small egg for the body. Styrofoam, a circle for the head, and then I've got some smaller circles for the neck. You need some sort of wood base, and I am going to drill holes to put the wire for the feet in. I'm using this wire. It's 12 gauge. It's pretty soft and flexible. I'm going to make sort of an armature with that wire, and I'm going to use these beads to put on his legs. So this guy has beaded legs, and I'm going to do the same for my bird. I also have, once you put the wire all through, you want to wrap it in yarn. This helps, because my bird is going to be gray, black, and white. This just helps to cover the styrofoam, and because when you stick the feathers in, you don't want the white styrofoam showing. I also have a couple of feather boas. I may use this. This is a little bit cheating because you really want to be sticking the feathers in. I've got some fun feathers in his body. You would also need some, this stuff is amazing. It's called air dry clay. I get it on Amazon. It comes in all these colors, and while it's wet, you can make balls and stuff, they bounce. It dries really hard. So it's just a great, like I'm gonna use it for the feet and for the bill of my bird. So it's just, this is a great go-to material just to have at home. Plus kids love it. It feels good. It doesn't smell bad. It's so soft, and it's just really fun. You can mix the colors. So did I get everything? You need wire cutters for the wire. I have these colors. These, I'm gonna blend this. You'll see you can blend this to like a marble. This is gonna be for the beak. I also have, I'm not sure if we're gonna use this. I may put like a collar on my bird because my bird's gonna be sort of an elegant, sparkly bird, I'm hoping. Do I have anything else? So I think that's it. And scissors, of course. You always need scissors. Okay, so I'm gonna get started. First, I'm going to drill my hole in my feet. And I want them to point, let's see, like that. So I'm just going to, if you're drilling, you want to make sure you don't go all the way through to the bottom, because you don't want the wire to go through. So I'm going to just see if this fits. Yep. Okay, I'm going to put the drill away, and I've started up, I have not started up, I'm going to start up my hot glue, my go-to, and I'm going to move the clay that I don't need out of the way. Okay, so the glue is heating up. I'm going to take the wire now, and what I'd like to do is figure out how tall my bird's going to be. So I'm going to make him pretty tall. Not taller than I have beads. So let's see. I'm going to alternate these different size beads. And you know what? I got to make sure these smaller ones actually have a big enough hole. Ah! Not quite. So my bird may be a little bit smaller. I think I had other beads that might work with this. So certainly before you get going on this, make sure that your beads fit. You could, I wouldn't recommend doing thinner wire because it might not hold your bird up. So let's see. Yeah, I have a feeling I may be making a short-legged bird. So let's just try these out. It may be a very short bird, or yeah, let's see. Okay, so I'm going to do a mixture of different beads. I'm not going to have as long legs as I originally wanted. So I'm going to, so the way a bird works, you want the egg, well, let me get this open so I get the plastic off. And you want the pointier end of the egg is the back of the bird. The fatter end is the front. So I'm going to put my wire right through his body and hopefully come out the other side. Here we go. He's going to be a bow-legged bird. So let's see. I'm going to clip him down here. I'm going to test him out on his feet. Okay, that's actually nice. It's a little bit lopsided, so I can cut a little bit more off the one leg. And now I'm going to start adding the beads, and I am going to alternate them. Using some of these pearl beads. And I'm going to do both legs at the same time. Like, I'm going to alternate legs with the same size beads. So I'm going to speed this up so you don't have to watch all this. So I've got my beads on, and I want to make sure my feet are going to fit pretty snug. So because I want the glue, so I'm going to trim these feet just a little bit. And then I'm going to glue these in. So I'm going to use hot glue, and I want it to come out of the top a little bit because I want it to attach to the bead. So that there's a nice snug fit. I'm going to do the same to the other side. Throw a little, and make sure it's also facing the right way. Ah! Whoops. So that he can walk. Okay. So we're good on the beads. Okay, so for the head, I normally use one. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? Oh yeah, I'm going to run the head. I want him to have kind of a long neck, so I'm going to run this wire out through the tail because I'm going to put a styrofoam on here to hold that in place. So this seems like a pretty good size neck. So I'm going to cut that. I'm going to move my beads because I don't need these except for I'll use a bead for an eye probably. Instead of using, you can use, you can use googly eyes which are fun, but I want my bird to look more artsy and elegant, and googly eyes, while they're really a hoot, do not make things look like fine art, which is sort of my goal here. So I'm going to stick this through my bird. And hope it comes out the other end. Uh-oh. Whoops. That came out through his back. So I need to straighten this and be a little bit more deliberate. I'm going to lay my bird down and literally go straight. I've only made this on little styrofoam eggs, and so, yikes. I'm putting quite a few holes in this poor guy. I'm going to try going in through the back. Which is interesting because it's not going as smoothly. I don't know. Let's try this again. I'm not sure if I don't think I'm... Oof. So this must be bending in. I think I need like a really straight... Oh, I know what I can use. So I happen to have a skewer for like cooking stuff on the grill, and I'm going to skewer my poor bird. That's pretty good. So I gotta just keep track that I stick this in the right hole. Hopefully it stays on track, which it didn't. All right, here's what we're gonna do. Wherever it comes out is going to be, oh, I know what I can do. So I am going to, let's see. I don't think his tail needs to be as big as his head. I'm going to put this through. Let's see. And I'm going to press this sort of like this. And that's going in with the bird. So that is his tail. That looks pretty good. And then his neck is the smaller, so you just want to get his neck on. This is like a bird armature. So you need 3 different sizes. You need an egg for the body and some round ones for the neck. I'm thinking I used to have the wire go all the way through. So you know what? Maybe we'll make him a two. So if I wanted a really long neck, I would have needed to put way more wire in. So I like the wire to come out because this is where I'm going to put his beak. So it's a nice, there you go. Okay, so now his head is too heavy. Let me think about that. I'm going to put, so this is part of the engineering part of it. I am going to put some more wire and tail back here. Let's see how this works. Unless I want a permanently eating bird. Oh, that's pretty cool. Okay, so that's our armature. Okay, so once you get the bird armature made, so he's pretty sturdy, he stands on his feet. You want to wrap him in yarn. This just gives him, like I said, I don't know if I have enough yarn to cover his whole body, we'll see. I just wrap him, and it also gives him a little bit of structure. So I'm just gonna wrap this guy. Okay, so I notice I call all my projects this guy, so that's just what I do. It's not for any particular reason. So don't worry about how you're wrapping them, just wrap them. You know, get it as covered as you can. And the nice thing about the styrofoam, if it's not the smooth, which I'd recommend you get like the rough styrofoam balls, it just, the yarn catches better. So I'm just gonna start going, I'm gonna lift them up and go all the way just around. So the cool thing about this is if you're teaching a class to kids on birds, you can look at all different kinds of birds, and then you can get all colorful feathers. So it's really a fun project from a creative standpoint. Plus you can see there's a design and an engineering aspect in trying to get him to stand up. So you have to work with the wire, and that can be a little bit frustrating sometimes, but it's also very rewarding when you just bend them and get them to stand up. Everyone should make the materials bend to them, not bend to the materials. Unless, of course, the materials don't bend to you, then you gotta just work with what you have. So I'm gonna keep going here. seem looking pretty good. I have other, I don't know, this is like a yarn, but it's like a fur yarn. I could cheat with, I'm not sure. Well, this is not really long enough to do anything with, so I could cheat with the feather boa and wrap this around, which I'm thinking I might do. So if you have a feather boa, it'll make it a little bit quicker, but if you don't, then you just stick a ton of feathers in your guy. So I think I'm gonna do my feather boa probably on his neck and his body. I'm going to cut it. Okay, so I've totally cheated. This guy is just feathers stuck in everywhere. This guy is it's a quicker fix, but there's plenty of bare spots, so I'm going to need to add feathers here and there. So I've got black feathers I'm going to start with, so you just want to find the bare spots, whoops, and stick the feathers in. So this guy did not do a continuous leg, so his leg comes out sometimes. So I'm gonna flip him over and just stick feathers in. And you can trim them. So once again, design, kids working with their fingers. There's a bit of nature because we're making birds and you're learning about birds. So I'm gonna leave that for now. I'm gonna trim under here because you can't see his legs, and his legs are kind of cool. So I'm gonna just give him a little haircut. He's now weighted down, and then I do have some cool feathers I thought about. So he's so black, I'm going to add some white in his tail area and on his face. So I'm just going to stick feathers in. And the good news is where there's white styrofoam. So it's not like you need that to blend so much because it's white and the feathers are white. So there's a reason why you want to make a small bird, because it's a lot of like feather putting in. And so as I know, I put my feather boa on here. I'm now going to try and get his face. I don't know if I should put glue this on or the fur. I think I'm going to stick with feathers. And so his face, I don't want the feathers sticking right out of his face. So I'm going to do this. Somehow I'm going to glue this feather boa sort of around his beak. I'm gonna just cut it and glue. It's gotta be careful with glue and styrofoam because the styrofoam will actually melt. If you turn your bird over, you may see where you have other spots that need feathers. It's hard. Some of the feather stems, well, not the spines, I'm not even sure what they're called. They're like little spines. They are hard to get into the styrofoam. You can also break the spines of the feathers to curl them back. Like, see, it's straight, but if you break along here with your finger, they'll then curl, or if you have a curling iron, that's really helpful. So I'm gonna put, I'm going to put some, hope it doesn't melt, and then get this feather on his face. Get this on here. Yeah, you can hear it sizzling, so I'm not sure. Ooh, it's like an egg, no pun intended. So I think I might have just roasted his little face. Let's see. Feather, I'm sort of tucking it in there, which is not, you know what I can do is with like a little piece of wire, I'm going to take, I have some thinner wire. I'm just going to cut a little, make like a little U, and then press, actually this is a little bit big, press this end in that's refusing to be glued. I'm going to just press this in here. And hold it in place. Actually, I could have done that the whole, I'm just going to do that with the other. So if you have some thinner wire, that's a good solution. Another fun thing with kids is figuring out how to solve the problems in your art. I mean, that's all art is coming up with an idea and then solving problems to get to that idea, to get it made. So here we've got my bird. You can kind of see his beautiful beaded legs. So I'm going to add his beak and his feet. So here we go. I'm going to add eyes. You might not even need eyes. So the beak, this is that wonderful clay. I'm just going to make it into, you know, like a point. And then I'm going to stick it on here. So now you at least know he's a bird by his beak, and this will just dry on. He definitely needs some eyes. I'll have to figure out how I'm going to do his eye. I could probably just glue his eyes onto the feathers, except I was going to do beads. Well, let me do his feet first. So I could do his feet in the orange, but I was thinking I wanted to do gray feet. But the orange might be better. So let me see if I've got, I'm gonna mix. This should be enough. I'm gonna mix, they're not quite the same color, but I'm gonna mix them, and I'm just gonna cover the wooden, the wooden feet. And this way you'll see his feet. He almost looks like an eagle. Look how majestic. You'll be able to see his little orange feet. And so I could put googly eyes on here, but I just don't want to ruin him with googly eyes. I think he needs majestic eyes. So what would be good is if I had a pin, I might have pins, those sewing pins that have the colorful ends. We're going to do a project with that. I can see if I have some of those. So I'm going to just split this in half, and then I am just going to, I probably should have done this before I glued the feet on. Now I'm realizing. So when you're making this, get his feet together, because I realized I am now going to get this stuff on his feet, on his little beaded legs. All right, well, you live and learn. So we'll just do our best. And I'm just molding this around the bead and his foot. Trying not to get feathers on it. And then I'm going around the back. This will also give his feet a little bit of stability. This whole project is like, you add the yarn, which gives it a little bit more stability. Everything you add should hopefully, okay, totally got his feathers in his feet. So I'm just going to try and keep the feathers out. Yeah, definitely do the feet before the feathers. I don't know what I was thinking. I was thinking that his feet were going to be more exposed, but he turned out to have such short legs. So there's one foot. And then the other foot, I'm going to actually turn him a little bit upside down so I can do a better job on this foot. And this takes a while to dry, this clay, so you could easily have made feet, you know, gotten the feet made and then did the beaded legs. So I am not putting this on the bottom of the wood because I want my bird to be able to stand on his wood base. So I'm just putting this around here. You're gonna love this clay if you haven't used it before. It is so much, it's so easy to work with. It's so colorful and it's just really, really nice. And it's very inexpensive. So let's see. Uh-oh. Why aren't you on the ground? Yeah, this was a total, as I say to the kids, this is a bit of a disaster. Let me get his legs. Uh-oh, let's see. Feet on the ground. Okay, yeah, I'm not sure why he's, but there he goes. Now he's standing up. His little feet. And now he just needs eyes. So I'm going to see if I can find some pins. So I happen to find these two sewing pins that have black, so they're like black pupils, and I'm going to pick out some sort of majestic eye. Maybe these guys. That seems a little small. Those seem a little bit, yeah, I like that. So this will go in here, and then I'm just gonna put the pin above his nose as soon as I find the styrofoam. Now the styrofoam got a little bit damaged. There's one eye. It got a little bit damaged in the hot gluing, so I would recommend you not do hot glue on the styrofoam. Here we go. Here he is. So it's a fun project. Maybe go smaller, like this guy, this gal. Thank you for tuning into Doodle Art. I hope you enjoyed the project.